Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Ako po si Christian Esguera and welcome po sa ating Facts First episode ngayong araw, ngayong gabi. Today is May 30, 2025. We are recording this episode at exactly 2:32 in the afternoon. Ngayong araw pong ito, May 30. Okay? Pag-uusapan po natin itong ano ba yung nakikita natin pwedeng mangyari dito sa impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Matutuloy pa kaya? Sikapin nating basahin yung mga pronouncements coming from the Senate or from certain personalities, including the President, as to the possible direction of this impeachment trial by the Vice President or of the Vice President. Dahil ang pinakahuling pronouncement po from the Senate ay minove po yung schedule ng pagbasa ng mga accusations against the Vice President from June 2 dapat to June 11. Dahil meron daw silang mga importanteng legislative measures na kailangan tutukan. Naniniwala po ba kayo doon? Okay? So makakausap po natin ngayong gabi, isa po siyang dating senador, dating DOJ Secretary, dating Commissioner ng Human Rights Chair, at kaka-elect lang po niya bilang party list congresswoman at siya po yung isa sa mga tatayo bilang miyembro ng House Prosecution Team pagpasok po ng 20th Congress. I'd like to welcome to our program again si mamamayang liberal party list representative Leila De Lima. Magandang araw po and thank you for joining us again dito po sa Facts First.
Magandang araw, Christian, saka sa mga nanonood sa inyo. Good to be back again, to be here.
Oo.
Yes.
Tumbukan na natin, no? Congresswoman na itawag ko sa'yo, nasanay kami kay senator. Pero sige, Congresswoman na. Ano bang basa nyo rito sa mga nangyayari? Una, nagsalita yung Pangulo, inulit niya. Ilang beses ko bang sasabihin sa inyo, ayoko na impeachment. Tapos pangalawa, yung kalendaryo ng Senado, dapat June 2, naging June 11, yung pagbasa ng articles of impeachment. Ano bang basa nyo sa mga nangyayari?
Ako, nagiging apprehensive na ako dyan. Parang nakikita ko na, Christian, na wala, hindi na nila itutuloy yan. I hope I'm wrong. Pero yan ang mga signal na mukhang yan ang direksyon na nila. And that's why I'm getting frustrated and at the same time medyo nagagalit po ako. Bakit ganun? Ilang beses na yan na-delay, dili-dali. And then yun na nga, supposedly June 2. Ano na naman yan? They can always come up with all sorts of excuses. I want to give them the benefit of doubt. Si Senate President Chis Escudero sa kanyang justification na they want to work on certain priority legislative measures for the last remaining session days until the next Congress. Pero hindi ba iyan na lang lagi ang ginagawa nilang rason? Nung una, I mean, I'm also imputing some fault on the part of the House of Representatives. Although, sabi nga nila, kaya nila hindi rin kaagad tinake up yung 3 impeachment complaints nung final ito, early December. So bago sila nag-Christmas break, nung December 19, ay sabi nila hindi kasi nag-focus kami sa budget hearings. Pero came yung pag-resume nila, kailan nga yung nag-resume nung session, January 5 or February 5, ay hindi rin kaagad tinake up. And then they had to wait for the last session day again before the election break, yung pag-transmit doon sa Senate ng articles. Now, the Senate President at that point could have already convened the Senate at that point, bago man lang nag-break sila for the election. But what did he say? Ang sabi niya, we will take it up when we resume after the election break. And which is, to me, violative of what is stated doon sa Constitution na forthwith nga. Forthwith, hindi 4 na buwan. February, March, April, May, June. So 4 na buwan yung delay. And now na meron na pagkakataon uli, June 2 nga yung articles of, yung reading of the charges of the articles of impeachment. Lo and behold, ayan na naman. Reset na naman nila June 11, which is just barely 2 days before mag-adjourn. And then just a few days ago, the president again made that statement. He never wanted this impeachment. Di daw niya gusto ito. Now, Kasi, syempre, alam naman natin yan, Christian, na, okay, itong mga proseso na to, these are both legal, constitutional, and also political. And whatever it is, yung mga ganyang proceedings, and it's always about yung separation of powers din. But then, alam mo na, you can, yes, we are not asking you to interfere with Congress. We are not asking you, Mr. President, to impose and dictate on Congress. But at least you show some interest or clear interest on the idea of the impeachment itself, the impeachment process, yung konsepto, yung proseso, gaano ito kapundamental, gaano ito ka-importante. And then, dapat hindi na lang siya nagsalita. If that is his view, na hindi, wag na, ayaw ko talaga niyan. Why does he have to state that publicly? Na mixed, hindi na natin alam, mixed signals, both to the prosecution panel and also to the senators. And with all of these things happening, you know, yung show of force by the Duterte camp, yung intensification ng mga black propaganda, mga political propaganda na naman, mga disinformation, fake news, and then the show of force. Look at VP Sara herself. Nandun siya uli sa The Hague, and then we can expect again a big gathering there. So with all of this, hindi yun nakakatulong. Alin ba ang mas importante? Because, you know, yes, he wants peace. The president wants peace. Ayaw na niya, maraming problema. And yun, maganda nga yun na nagpa-submit siya ng courtesy resignation. Pero binabantayan pa natin kasi partial yung pag-announce kung sino-sino yung mga mariretain and kung sino-sino yung mga wala na, out na. Yes, these are also important matters of governance. Pero impeachment is equally, if not more, significant. Kasi we are talking here about the supremacy of the Constitution and the principles that it advances, lalo na truth, justice, and accountability. This is beyond political leanings. This is beyond personalities, kundi yung idea na kaya nga nandyan ang impeachment process. And kaya ako, interesado sa bagay na yan, kaya nga ako na naging spokesperson ng first group of complainants, kaya nga ako ay sumagot ng oo nung inimbitahan ako ni Speaker to be part of the prosecution panel kasi naniniwala ako na may mga impeachable offenses, valid, legitimate ang yung mga akusasyon against VP Sara. And now, we are looking at this scenario na after all of this, di ba mga nag-hearing, nakita natin yung ibang ebidensya, hindi pa nga lahat. And then, kakalimutan na lang yon, kakalimutan na naman ng taong bayan yung mga kasalanan. And that's why it's nakakagalit actually. Christian, I'm sorry to say that.
Okay.
Yes.
Understandable naman, no? Kasi parang napaka-anticlimactic after everything that came out doon sa Committee on Good Government, no? Anyway, kumusta yung moral ng prosecution team? Do they share that frustration o yung sabi niya nakakagalit na pakiramdam?
Actually, Christian, kasi hindi pa nga kami official member ni Chel, Attorney Chel Jokno. Hindi pa kami sa 20th Congress pa lang kami mag-assume officially. So wala pa kaming natatanggap any notice from for example, the Office of the Speaker or from the prosecution panel that they are inviting us already to the meetings, because I'm sure meron na sila mga meetings, mga preparatory meetings na nandyan din, I suppose, yung mga private prosecutors o yung mga magiging mga legal consultants ng prosecution panel. But insofar as I'm concerned, and kausap ko lang kahapon si Attorney Chel, ay hindi pa rin siya nakakatanggap ng notice. So we are not yet official members. So ito ang mga pag-aano ko ngayon, paglalahad ng aking mga kaisipan, this is this is actually personal because I cannot speak on behalf of the prosecution panel at this point.
Okay, understandable. Pag-usapan natin yung pag-move po ng schedule ng pagbasa ng sakdal siguro yung tamang term, no? Yung pagkaka-translate ko, no? Yung pagbasa ng articles of
Yes,
impeachment, yung
charges.
formal
Yes.
accusations against the Vice President. Kung June 11 ito, what can they realistically achieve before they go on break? Tapos magre-resume na sila as members of the 20th Congress. Given that very, very small window, ano ma-achieve niyan?
Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, I saw already some kind of a timetable before itong resetting. Kasi June 2, official reading, pag-welcome ng prosecution panel and official reading of the articles or the charges for impeachment. Next day, June 3, supposedly. So, ito ngayon, June 11. So, next day is June 12. I don't think they can meet on June 12 kasi nga, it's Independence Day, official holiday. And then June 13 will be the last day na. But yung, kung susundin natin yung original na schedule na pinalabas nila, I saw it somewhere in my feed sa online, ay June 2 and then June 3 would be the issuance of the summons requiring the official impeached, VP Sara, to file a verified answer within 15 days. And then kung ano pa man ang mga preliminary notices and orders na pwedeng i-issue ng Senate sitting as an impeachment court. And then nakalagay na rin, may supposedly schedule na rin yung magiging pre-trial. But before that, there will be proceedings doon sa parang arraignment. Kasi pag-file ng verified answer ni VP Sara, and so the issues will be joined at that point, and then pwede na magkaroon ng isang proceeding for VP Sara to plead either guilty or not guilty. And then, susunod na dyan, yung pre-trial. Supposedly sa June din yun before July 1. So, kasama rin yun doon. Although yung the trial itself, trial proper, meaning presentation, first of prosecution evidence, late part na of July. Yun ang nakita kong unang calendar. So,
okay.
Hindi dapat din magbago yan. Kahit minove, June 11, kahit mag-ano ng June 13, since balak na nila yon nung una, balak na ni Senate President Cheese nung una, na tutuloy-tuloy na yan, including the issuance of the summons, the answer, the arraignment, and pre-trial. So, they should follow that. Okay. Although medyo mamumove na rin yung dates. But then, nangangamba ako na baka ang mangyari sa June 11 ay magbobotohan sila. Itutuloy pa ba natin ito? Knowing na nandyan na yung next Congress, malapit na. So it might be put into votation.
Okay, because anong exactly dun sa iniisip yung possibility? Ano exactly proposition na pagbobotohan, itutuloy pa, hindi ba obligasyon nila yan?
Kaya nga, ano ko lang yan, that's what I foresee. Pwede lang, of course, cannot be sure. And wala naman akong inside information about what's happening inside Senate. But, tama yung argumento na yan na obligasyon nyo nga dyan, mandato nga yan, that's your constitutional duty. But then, always they will say, Senate is a sole judge. Senate is part ito, baka they will say, part ito about our prospective function as impeachment court. You can never tell.
Kasi ang isang possibility po rito, ituloy nila yan, syempre. Sisimulan nila during this Congress, 19th Congress, pero magbe-break. I don't know kung ano tatawagin nila dyan, no? Ano ba to? We will go on recess, at least as an impeachment court. Pero pagpasok ng 28th Congress, kung saan may mga bagong miyembro ng Senado, what could stop any one of them from raising the issue of continuity? Teka, sinimulan yan during the previous Congress. Bakit natin itutuloy bilang isang impeachment court? Diba? Isang possibility po yan. Anong tingin niyo sa continuity principle? Okay,
I believe na pwede pa. I believe na yan nga dapat ang tamang sagot dyan na pwede pa. Kasi nga, if you compare it with the ordinary court cases, criminal cases, diba, there are times when the judge who started handling the case and who even received evidence may not be the judge that would render judgment because he might recuse himself earlier or opt for early retirement or for mandatory retirement. So ano mangyayari sa kaso? Magkakaroon ng reassignment to a new judge. Ireraffle. And then the new judge cannot say, I want to start the case again. I want to receive the evidence myself. Hindi yun ang tama. Ang obligasyon ngayon ng bagong judge to render judgment based on the records of the case. So pwede natin i-ano rin yan sa impeachment. Saka yung impeachment is a collective body because yung Senate nga yan. Hindi naman lahat ng mga uupo sa 20th Congress ay bago. Nandyan din yung mga datihan na. May mga re-election, may mga re-elected ones, may konting bago, katulad nila Sen Kiko, Sen Bam, and si Congressman Marcoleta. Yun ang mga among the bago. Pero yung nandyan pa yung iba. Right? So, hindi pwedeng ganun na sasabihin, no, I refuse to sit in that impeachment court because I was not yet a member of the previous Congress that started the proceedings. I don't think that kind of argument will fly.
Kaso ang isa ko po nag-isip, Congresswoman, kunwari pumasok yung 28th Congress, tapos nakabinbin yung issue ng impeachment. Kasi magkaiba naman sila bilang senador at bilang mga huwes sa isang impeachment court. Kunwari, sinubject sa vote. Teka, meron ba tayong jurisdiction bilang isang impeachment court dito sa nakabinbin na impeachment trial ni Sara Duterte? Pagbobotohan po yan, di ba? At doon magkakaalaman kung sino dyan yung pro-Sara o siguro at least pro-impeachment process at least, no? Paano kung idulog yan sa Supreme Court? Hindi ba isang posibilidad po dyan na hindi siya pakialaman ng Supreme Court dahil nga doon sa sui generis nature ng Senado as an impeachment court? Pwede po bang yun naman dyan? Course of action. Hindi kami makikialam yan. Kung ano man yung pinagbotohan nyo, yun. Kasi kayo yan eh.
That is always a possibility. The Supreme Court will say, ano lang yan, that's just one side, no? The Supreme Court will say na the matter of impeachment is the sole prerogative of the Senate, and therefore even on preliminary matters like jurisdiction, pwede sila lang ang mag-decide. But then again, meron din of course yung on the judicial review powers of the Supreme Court, grave abuse of jurisdiction amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction, and especially on a constitutional question of law. That's part of the powers of the Supreme Court to decide questions, a constitutional question of law. And precisely itong issue na to about impeachment, kasi ngayon lang ito mangyayari about that tatawid sa next Congress. It's a novel and a very important constitutional issue na pwedeng pakialaman ng Supreme Court.
Pero do you get the sense na parang ayaw nilang ituloy yung impeachment trial? Or baka naman legitimately, you get that sense ba?
I get that sense. Lalo na nung riniset nga uli. And I get that sense nung bago yung election election period, kasi ang palaging pinag-uusapan noon mukhang they will not get the numbers because we're supposed to target 16 members of the Senate. So siyam lang dyan ang mag-acquit, mag-vote for acquittal, that's it. Kasi required 16. So palagi yan nilang, and then all of this mga pronouncements din of some of the senators na mga magiging mga members of the impeachment court. We have heard them say which more or less telegraph to us kung ano yung magiging posisyon nila. Lantaran din sinasabi ng iba dyan, sila Senator Bato, Senator Robin Hood, na ganun nga, na hindi talaga magiging successful yung impeachment. So another matter na naman nga dyan, yung mga about inhibition. I don't know kung i-consider yan ng prosecution panel about the possibility of asking for inhibition of some members because of prejudgment. Pero ang importante, tumuloy. Ang importante, makita talaga ng taong bayan yung ebidensya. So, and then ang magiging play dyan, Christian, if I may, is again between technicalities and the substantive matter of accountability. Because it's easy to always invoke technicality and nag-override, nagde-defeat ng substantial ends of justice. This is another clear example. Kung sakasakali ganyan nga ang mangyari na hindi na nila itutuloy because of that na hindi na daw Hong Congress.
Opo. Kung ang basa niya sa mga nangyayari, parang ayaw nilang ituloy impeachment trial, ano sa tingin niyo yung dahilan?
Could be several. The power play, the show of force ng Duterte camp. Kitang-kita natin yan. Tingnan natin yung sa SOCMED. Di ba palaging natatabunan yung mga, you know, the sensible and more rational views natatabunan lagi ng mga trolls, ng mga fanatics, and then the election results and leadership battle sa Senate. We don't know how it's very possible that it's weighing in, it's a factor. Yung mga laro-laro dyan about the Senate leadership. Will SP Jesus Cordero be retained? Meron bang mga seryoso na mga contenders? Most probably. Meron seryoso targeting the Senate leadership. So again, it's about political interest, self-interest, self-preservation. Na pwede ba yun? Hindi, bakit kinakalimutan na nila yung saligang batas? Yung mga prinsipyo na napaka-importante, especially accountability.
Okay. Finally, Congresswoman, tanong ko na rin, no? Kasi sa pagpasok ng party list organization ninyo dito po sa 20th Congress, nakapag-decide na ba kayo kung sasama kayo sa majority or not?
That's being discussed. Meron talaga kaming meetings on that. Kasi nga, di ba, nagpaslabas ng parang press release si Deputy Speaker Suarez. And he even mentioned there na kasama daw sa super majority ay 4 Liberal Party members. Wala pa kaming natanong na LP member na kino-confirm yan. Konti lang naman ang LP members, but none of them has actually confirmed that they did sign already. Because precisely under discussion pa yan. Kasi 3 options: majority, minority, independent bloc. Now, my personal position is either nga minority or independent bloc. But nag-ano kasi kami, ang consensus namin is that as much as possible, if this can be a collective decision of the party, kung kaya. Kung hindi, magiging personal choice, personal decision of each of the members. Sasali ba sa majority o sa minority? Saka wala naman, ano kasi, ang clear lang naman na talagang pwede, under the rules and under per tradition, is yung minority. Yung independent bloc, that is something that happens once in a while, but this is not really part of the tradition and the rules. Yes.
Okay. Sige, abangan po namin yung mangyayari dyan sa 20th Congress, and of course, tututukan pa rin natin itong issue ng impeachment trial dahil napakalinaw po ng mga issues na dapat sinisilip dito. In the meantime, maraming salamat po, Congresswoman Leila De Lima. Thank you for joining us tonight dito po sa Facts First.
Thank you also for having me. Always a pleasure.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Yan po, si incoming mamamayang liberal, party list representative Leila de Lima. Okay? Kitang-kita yung frustration sa kanya, no? Especially during the start of our interview. Tingnan natin, no? Pero mukhang dun nga papunta eh. Mukhang meron talagang pagkilos para hindi matuloy itong impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte. I hope I'm wrong kasi constitutional duty po yan ng ating mga senador. Tingnan natin kung ano po yung mangyayari in the coming days. In the meantime, ako po si Christian Esguera. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.